Hey, what's up guys? In this session, I'd like to give you some tips for mixing your in-ear monitors, or your ears for short. I venture to say that there's nothing more important musically than being able to hear effectively when it comes to playing with a band. Hearing yourself is vital to being able to play and to sing well, but really that's just the beginning. Playing with a band is about way more than being independently good at your instrument. It's about playing together and listening to each other and hopefully producing an excellent and unified sound that can only be accomplished when we can hear not only ourselves, but the rest of the team as well. Now, there's no one-size-fits-all philosophy for mixing ears. In fact, I'd bet that everyone on the platform mixes their ears a bit differently. However, there are some universal starting point suggestions that can help you get there faster. Now, there are a lot of sounds to try to fit into your mix, and it might be a little overwhelming to think about, but it is possible to hear everything. But hearing everything with the same detail as you can hear yourself isn't possible, and it's definitely not recommended to try. Think about mixing your ears more like a record or a mastered track that you listen to with headphones, but with your specific instrument or voice boosted. You may not be super familiar with how to get that in your mix, and that's okay. Your worship pastor or your instrument coach or any of us on staff can help you get there. And likely the production team has a starting line where the band is already mixed for you and you're already boosted. You see, what's different about a live band in your mix is that we have some elements that you don't have when listening to a recorded song with your headphones. We have a click track, a guide track, which is just a voice that tells us what part of the song we are in, and also a live music director that speaks into a microphone and helps keep us together and navigate musical moments. These three elements are extremely important for you to be able to hear, so mix them with that in mind. So in the event that you have to start from scratch and build your ear mix from the ground up, here are some quick tips for you. Number one, drums and bass are the foundation of your mix. You can build the rest of the band around them, but you don't want them overpowering your own instrument or blowing your ears out. But the drums should never disappear sonically in your mix. And then the bass should add a low-end layer that almost gives the drums harmonic value. Bass can easily get in the way if you have it too loud, but on the flip side, without it, you'll feel like your mix is lacking something. Number two, keys, tracks, and guitars will provide you all of the melodic hooks and musical complexities of the songs we sing. The keys will provide two sounds to manage, piano and then all of the synth and pad sounds. I would recommend getting the pad and synth sounds just a little bit louder than the bass guitar, and then the piano just above the pads or synth. Most of the time, the pads and the synth sounds are providing a wide stereo musical layer that isn't super distinct, but it fills up the sonic space nicely and provides a lot of energy. Then most of the time we have some auxiliary backing track support that we play along with. I would treat these similar to the pads and synth layers coming from the keys. And then again, put the piano just above those pad and synth tracks. Now with guitars, these days we really don't have a rhythm guitar player and a lead guitar player. We just have two guitars who both play parts, and they provide many of the hooks and melodies that kind of provide the musical fingerprint of our songs. So you'll likely want to be able to hear them, but if you're not a guitar player, go ahead and pan them hard left and right in your mix and then put them around the same volume as the piano, or maybe just a little bit higher. Then with the acoustic, I prefer the acoustic straight down the middle, or maybe even a little pan to one side, and pretty low, since these days the acoustic doesn't carry a lot of musical parts. But when we are lower in dynamic settings, I still want to be able to hear the acoustic, as sometimes it carries those moments. And number three, vocals. This is different for the band than it is for vocalists. So for the band first, panning the vocals relative to the vocalist's position is usually a good idea. And then get the people singing lead on songs loud enough to hear what they're singing and what part of the song they're in, so in case anything spontaneous or unplanned happens, you can follow them. For the other vocals who aren't leading, pan them and duck them in your mix so that they're still a part of the whole sound, but not in the way or distracting. Now, if you're a vocalist, you obviously need to hear yourself as loud as you need to manage inflection, dynamics, and pitch, but you also need to hear the other vocals that you are singing with. Be careful though, because too much of the other vocals can sometimes cause pitch problems for yourself. Because we all need a tonal center to find our pitch, but if you're finding your pitch from another person that might not be finding their pitch from the right place, it can cause problems. So keep everyone where you need them to sing your part well, hear the band well, and you should be good to go. Now, just to state the obvious, these are just suggestions. And if you require something unique or unorthodox in your ear mix, have at it. The mix is completely about you being comfortable enough to hear what you need to hear to execute well. But I hope that these tips help you create an inspiring musical mix that enables you to not just hear what you need to, but to lead well and to worship well.